Hi friends, how are you? I'm sorry I couldn't vlog yesterday. I was so excited to vlog about yesterday. It was a special day, but it didn't end up that good and I was a little disappointed, and I'll tell you what, I'll share that experience with you. And then, I was like, I'm going to not vlog today. And I did start recording and then I just stopped. So I'll share that experience of yesterday with you guys. But today I thought, I'll go ahead and share with you what I do in the afternoon. And so today I'm planning to make saag. So if you are not an Indian, I would give you an intro that a saag is a green vegetable that we make. It's made up of what do we call saag in English? It's called mustard green, and this is how it looks like. So I'll show you. So these are mustard greens in English, or you can also call them as curly greens, and they're available in Walmart and most of the stores. Even Kruger, I think, carries it. So if you are new and you have never tasted saag, I would strongly suggest that buy some mustard green and look at my recipe. I'm going to go ahead and link my recipe also along with this, and try it out because it's healthy and nutritious and a little bit hard work, I would say. So most of the Indian foods require a little bit of hard work, but in the end result is awesome. So I brought these 3 bunches of mustard green and some spinach. So I'm going to use one spinach, and I'm going to go ahead and make saag for today, maybe for night or for the afternoon. We'll see. And while I'm making this, so I'll try and post the link of how to make saag, and or maybe I'll just speak along as I make it. Let's see how it goes. And while I'm doing this, I'll also share with you guys, my experience of what happened yesterday. So, what happened was, my son Rishi, he had a very important math competition, and as you know, he's been going to math competitions. In my earlier videos also I've shared that he's been going to math competitions. So this was a different math competition, and it was kind of it goes on from state to national level and so on, so something very serious. And we took him there yesterday, and what surprised me about this competition was the way they made the kids sit. So that first thing, it was like, this is not right. So if I have a way, some clipping that I can share, I'll go ahead and post that also to show you how it worked. But if not, then I'll just explain you, what happened. So there were seats like you have in auditoriums, small seats next to each other, very close, tightly, compacted. And they had very small, tiny tables that they would, take out for the competition. So, and all the kids, these were not different schools competing. So all these kids, of same school were sitting next to each other. And I mean, they were so tightly, sitting together that they can easily look at one another's work. And this is a serious competition, if you do good, you go to the national level. And some kids here, are working seriously for it. So the first thing when I saw that, and even, the school kids sitting together, and if school kids are sitting together, guys, they'll know who's the good one, and probably, they can cheat off each other very easily. So when I saw that, it shocked me, and I did go and tell one of the, people who was conducting this that if they could place the kids a little far away. It was a big auditorium and they could have easily separated the kids and made sure that at least one seat is vacant between each other, and I did suggest it. But this person was like, nope, that's not going to happen. And the reason he gave me was that it's difficult to conduct a test if separate the kids. And I could not understand how is it so difficult to conduct a test if you're separating the kids to make sure that they're not cheating. So the next thing he said was, the kids have integrity, they will not do it. And let me tell you guys, no matter where in the world you are, cheating does take place at every age level, and I've seen it. I've seen this cheating taking place even at kindergarten level, and that was my first, when I first saw that, I was shocked, because this was in my kid's school, and these kindergarten kids were sitting, and I was volunteering that day, and these kindergarten kids were sitting together, and they were given some math problems, and the teacher told me, you go ahead and give them these math problems to do. And I was just, looking and helping out kids in at that table only. And I saw, there were like 5 kids, and out of those 5 kids, 3 of them, I can easily say, were cheating off the other kids. So they didn't know the question. They were simple math questions. So if they didn't know it, and they were not graded for it, there was no, consequence if you did bad. They were told that before, but still, I saw them, cheating off. They didn't have a clue. They would just quickly look at the person sitting next to it. Whatever that person had written, they would write it down. And I saw a kid, cheat off my son. Because my son from very, kindergarten level has been very good at math, touch wood. But that shocked me that, at this young age also, I don't know how they learn to do that. Because obviously parents are not teaching them, let me tell you. So how is it something that is inborn or what? But they were doing it. So... coming back to this competition, so even though when I told them that, that these guys can cheat off, he was talking about integrity, and I was like in my mind, I know what integrity, these kids have. There are few, I'm not saying that all of them, but there might be few who have integrity, but majority of them are going to cheat off. And it did happen, because my kid was telling me that during the test, one of the not one, but a proctor, 3 different proctors came to that same kid who was sitting in front of him, telling him not to look at the person sitting next to him, look at the work of the person next to him, obviously, but you're telling him it's not going to help, it's right there. Even if you don't, turn your head, you can easily look at it. So, let me stop at that. Let me go ahead and wash all this and get all my, stuff ready, because I guess I should talk as well as work. Otherwise, I will never get this done. So, give me a second. So, guys, coming back to what I was talking. I was telling you that I did request, and they did not agree. They thought the kids are really, what do I say, have integrity. Now, anyway, the test was conducted. My son took the test, and he qualified for the next round, so he's going to go in for state. But he was not in the top 10, and let me tell you, the person who was in the 4th place, his score was a 40, and my son's score was a 36. So that tells you he was just 4 points less. So when I say 4 points less, that means probably, a difference of maybe 3 questions. So he probably, messed up 3 questions, and he went all the way down from 4th place to, I think he was 13th place. So, and being in top 10 is considered to be good. So when, I saw that, I was really sad and disappointed. And most of the kids who were in the first 10 places were kids from a same particular school. And obviously, what could you say? Most likely is that they were sitting so close to each other that they could easily, make sure that their answer is matching the other people's answers, and they could, change the answers, because that's very easy. So, and I haven't taught my kid to cheat, and what I've taught so far is, what I've taught him is, you don't cheat, you do hard work, and what you deserve, you'll get. But, when you see those kids, if they've cheated, and if they are coming up and, a kid who has done hard work, hasn't cheated, loses. As a mother, I don't know, let me know if you feel the same, and what would you suggest, a mother, being a mother, if you are a mother, a parent, what would you teach, or what are you teaching your kids? Because I still am struggling, because at this point I was like, I'm teaching my kid not to cheat, right? And I'm saying this is not right and you should not be doing it. But when I see that the kids have cheated off, and they have, reached that top level and shown that, they're better off than the kid who hasn't cheated, then I'm like, should I be actually telling him not to cheat off? Is it fair for me to tell him that? Because it's in the end, hurting him. I mean, in the contest, he probably lost because some of them did cheat. And mind you guys, even if you say no, you're thinking wrong, they did not, they probably deserved it. Let me tell you that that is not quite true, because I have seen this happening. And they probably, the likelihood of them cheating is more than the likelihood of them not cheating. But anyway, the question is that, am I doing the correct job as a mother, telling my kid, no matter what, if others are, cheating, let them cheat, but you just do your work, do your best. But, in the end, nobody's going to know, whether this kid who came first or second or was in the first 10 places did cheat or not. They're going to look at the result, right? So when they look at one kid who didn't cheat and was in the 4th place, and one kid, sorry, not the 4th place, but let's say the 13th place, and one kid who did cheat and was in the, let's say, 10th place, who will they, take during admissions? Definitely a kid who was at a top level. So do let me know what your thoughts are, and as a parent, what should one do in a situation like this? So guys, I am at this crossroad and I'm not able to make or decide what, should as a parent one do. Because if I'm teaching him good quality, which is, not to cheat, he is getting hit by that moral, being that a good person, he's getting hit, and in the end, he's getting hurt. So, and I guess most of you all parents will agree that this is something which has crossed your mind, and maybe you know what to do, but please do advise or give me what you think should be done in such situations. What should we as parents do. And their team was placed 5th. He was 13th, and let me tell you, there was another kid from a different school. He was the only kid from that school, and there were no other kids that were participating, and he was just like my kid. I told my kid to just sit separately. So he was sitting in a seat in the whole row where there was no one sitting next to him, and he was sitting all alone in that seat and doing his job, contest. So, and this kid, the other kid, was also exactly like him. He did not sit with anyone around him. So the room had, that shows the room had a lot of space. And if one wanted to, separate the kids, or if a kid wanted to sit separately, they could. But these were the only 2 kids in that whole contest who, decided to sit alone and concentrate and not cheat. So really, makes me, very happy and being proud to be a mother of a kid who does those things. And that other kid was placed, I think he was 10th, and but fortunately he was able to be in the first 10 and go up to the stage. But unfortunately my son couldn't, and I was really sad about it, because he's a hardworking kid. And the sad part is the thought that maybe, just maybe, these kids probably cheated and were able to beat a kid who was doing the job as it should have been done. So that's what makes me sad, and I was very kind of depressed yesterday. And then I wanted to share the experience and show you how the universities in US are and things like that. I was very excited about that. But then, in the end I said, no. And I've been in that mood since yesterday. Even now, the very thought, when I'm even talking about it, I am not feeling too good. So, I guess if you're a parent, you'll probably, understand that, because you want the best for your kid, and you have so many high hopes for them, and especially if that kid is a hardworking kid, and you as a parent, you will definitely feel sad about it, and your mood is going to turn off. So anyway, as you know, time is passing, I'm feeling a little better, but not that much. And yes, I don't know how my son probably is feeling. I did tell him that's okay. I mean, you did your best, just try and work harder. But it's a tough competition, it's a tough world. And I'm sure he is also pretty disappointed. So today, you know, I was thinking, and hopefully I'll take you along with me. In the evening, we were thinking of going to watch a movie, so we'll go to a theater. And if I get a chance, I'll show you a little bit around too. And I'm guessing, you know, when you feel bad or you're feeling depressed or sad, I've seen that whenever I'm feeling like that, the only way, you know, it diverts, my mind gets diverted is if I go out for some time. If I stay at home, you know, the thing keeps coming into my mind and keeps, you know, repeating inside my mind. And that's why I'm telling you, you know, I think take things very seriously. I know that's wrong, and I would, you know, suggest all of you also don't take things so seriously. But I'm the kind, you know, my father was telling me that you take things so seriously, you work so hard, everything you do, you know, you do with all your heart. And I mean, it's a good thing, but then in the end, if it doesn't work out, it hurts you the most. And I guess that's the reason, you know, I have a little, my blood pressure is a little high too. So my father keeps telling me, oh, take things a little bit lightly, don't take everything too hard. But you know, that's human nature, the way you are, it's very difficult to change. So even if I try and I, you know, try to take things lightly or try not to work hard, it makes me feel guilty. I'm like, you know, I'm not giving my 100%. So whatever I try to do, I try to put in my best. Like, you know, if I'm teaching my kid, I'll try to do my best. I'm making a video, I try to do my best. And you know, every time I look at the videos, I'm like, oh, this is not right. I wish I would have done it better. So things like that. But in the end, you know, when you don't get the result, it hurts you. You feel sad, you feel depressed. So guys, as parents, tell me how, you know, struggles of a parent, as I'm discussing with you, how do you deal with situations like this? And yeah, hopefully when we go to the theater and spend an hour or so outside, I might, you know, forget what happened yesterday and things will get better. But I mean, this hope is not lost. He's got into state, and let's see how it goes. The competition is going to be much tougher there. And I'm almost done with washing my mustard greens. And I'll just go ahead and put this in my cooker, or you know, if you can, and just, or put it in, if you don't have a cooker, you can just put it in any kind of container and put a lid on it and let it cook till the leaves are well cooked. And as I said, you know, I'll share this recipe and I'll show you how it turns out in the end. So guys, I've just now put my mustard green in it. It wasn't fitting because there's so much of green. The cooker is a little less, you know, small in size. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just steam it, because when you steam it, the veggies are going to get down, and then I'll put the rest of my mustard green and spinach in this and then close the cooker. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to show you something special. If you watched my video where I said I had a, you know, surprise package outside of my doorstep, in that video I showed you that I got this, which was, you know, rings to put in your cooker. So this is the cooker I have. I think it's a Futura cooker. So it had these rings, and I put the one that my dad sent in here, and it's working fantastic. So it's like a brand new cooker now. So I get to, you know, the good thing is now I get to use my cooker again. I don't have to throw it away. So all those guys who are used, you know, if you're living in US and you've got cookers from India, and you know, we Indians always generally do that. So if you have and they have stopped working for some reason, check if it's this ring, you know. If this is the ring that's probably, you know, not letting the steam being formed, and that's the reason why your cooker is not working. So this is the ring. So just buy those rings. When you go to India, you can, you know, buy those rings and just take the lid with you. to India and buy those rings, and I think your cooker should be good, just like new. So you get to, you know, save a lot of money because cookers are not that cheap, I'm guessing. So yeah, so see, now this has gone down. Earlier it was all packed till the top. I'm going to just quickly go ahead and put the rest of my stuff in. And go ahead and close my lid. Probably put a little bit of more water because I don't know if because of the steam it evaporated. I don't want it to be burning. And I'm going to go ahead and use the cooker that I had put aside for quite a few months, thinking that now it's useless, but it isn't. So if my dad is watching, Dad, this works great. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and put the whistle. And let it cook for about 10-15 minutes. And guys, if you can see, my husband, he's cooked some rajma, or you could say beans, pinto beans, because he knew that I was not feeling that good today. So he understood, you know. So it's nice to have an understanding husband who knows your moods and doesn't create a fuss and helps you out. My saag is all ready. I'm just warming it up. And I'm going to go ahead and make some chapatis or rotis. So the cool thing is that my son, he just now came from up and he was like, oh, something smells good. What is it? Is it chicken, mommy? I said, no, it's saag. He hasn't eaten saag for quite a long time. So I don't think he'll remember what saag is. So I said, it's really yummy. So when he came and he saw that green thing, he was like, what's this? And he started to make a little bit of face. But, you know, he said it smells good. And I remember, that reminds me, you know, because of his reaction. I don't know how many of you can relate the same thing and say, oh yeah, this happened to us too. So when I was young, and my dad loves saag. And he eats saag with makki ki roti, mind you. So when we were young, mommy used to make saag quite often. And I mean, me and my brother, we hated saag like anything. Anyway, we could tolerate saag a little bit, but makki ki roti was just totally out of question. It was something that we would never eat. No matter, you know, my dad used to always tell us, if you know, try at least one bite. If you don't like it's fine, you can leave it, but try it, it's really good. He loved it like anything. And we used to hate it like anything, so totally opposite. But now once, you know, I've grown up and got married and stuff, and we moved to, you know, US. I love saag and makki ki roti like anything. So if I get an option, but you know, if you want an American food or saag and, you know, roti, I would choose saag and roti. So see guys, how, you know, with the age, your tastes also, you know, change. Something that I used to hate like anything, now I love it. I enjoy it. And mind you guys, saag, making saag is not easy. So if there are boys watching, men, if you're watching this video, and your mom or your wife makes saag, do appreciate it and say, you know, it's good, and say some good things about it to make your wife or your mom happy. And not only that, cooking is really a lot of hard work, guys. So boys out there watching this video, men out there watching this video, let me tell you, I mean, we take it for granted. Even I used to take it for granted, like, you know, mommy doesn't do anything. All she does is just cooking, which is simple. But dad is the one going to office and doing all the, you know, hard work. But that's not true. Once I had to come here and I had to start cooking, I realized that cooking is really hard job. It's not something easy, and it should not be taken for granted. This saag has taken me around about an hour to make, and my legs, they are killing me. And now I have to make this chapati. So housewives, should be appreciated no matter what. I mean, all those misconceptions that, you know, housewife doesn't do a thing in the house is totally, completely wrong. Just cooking itself is equal to your guys going to an office. So appreciate that. And today, when your wife or your mom cooks for you and brings it to you, or, you know, puts it on the table, do thank them and love them and appreciate the hard work that they're doing. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and end my vlog and go ahead and give, you know, this chapati, make these chapatis and give it to my son. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog now quickly. And do guys subscribe to my channel if you're new and you haven't done it yet. And hit that bell icon so it notifies you for all the new videos I'm going to go ahead and post in future. And share it with your friends and family. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.